Natty Morgan. The rise and fall of a notorious gangster. Early life and criminal beginnings. Oneil Nathaniel Morgan, better known as Natty Morgan or Natty Kris, emerged as one of Jamaica's most feared gangsters in the late 1980s. Operating out of Riverton City, Morgan commanded a ruthless gang responsible for a reign of terror that included extortion, robbery, and murder. With deep ties to the criminal underworld, his name became synonymous with violence and fear across Kingston and beyond. The Seaview Gardens Massacre. Morgan's notoriety reached its peak on February 25, 1990, when he orchestrated the Seaview Gardens Massacre, one of Jamaica's deadliest acts of gang violence. The bloodshed stemmed from a years-old school feud between Peter Lawrence and Howard Dennis, which escalated into deadly revenge. When Lawrence sought retribution for an old wound, he turned to Morgan and his gang to settle the score. What began as a wake for Howard Dennis at Lot 1623, Seaview Gardens, turned into a slaughterhouse. Morgan and his gang, armed with M16 rifles and handguns, stormed the gathering at 1:30 a.m., forcing attendees to lie face down before executing 7 men on the spot. The victims included Howard Dennis's own brother, Christopher Gore, intensifying the tragedy for their grieving mother, Beverly Gordon. The police manhunt. The massacre shocked Jamaica and set off an intense police investigation led by ACP Isidore Dick Hibbert and a team of elite detectives. Authorities relentlessly pursued Morgan and his gang, eventually charging Natty Morgan, Peter Lawrence, Brenton Jenkinson, Irvine Short-Piece Cox, Barrington Stewart, Winston Williams, and Floyd Ticka Howell with 7 counts of murder. However, the case took a dramatic turn when, on December 19, 1990, Morgan and Lawrence escaped from the gun court. Their time as fugitives saw them commit further robberies, murders, and violent attacks, deepening their infamy. Final showdown and death. The manhunt for Natty Morgan pushed law enforcement to its limits, with police virtually living in Riverton City's swamps and dumps to track him down. On August 19, 1991, the chase ended in a fierce gunfight on Mandela Highway near Kayamanas intersection. Morgan and Lawrence, heavily armed, went down in a hail of police bullets, marking the violent conclusion of one of Jamaica's most feared criminals. Shortly afterward, another gang member, Eddie Bap, was also gunned down, signaling the collapse of the Natty Morgan gang. Meanwhile, Floyd Howell and Irvine Cox were convicted of 7 counts of capital murder, receiving the death sentence. Legacy of terror. Natty Morgan's reign left behind a trail of devastation, a community scarred by fear, violence, and loss. His gang's merciless executions, extortions, and brutality made him a legend in Jamaica's criminal history. But ultimately, he died as he lived, by the gun.